Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randall Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts.
All right, let's talk about it.
All right. Are we live? Are we live?
We're live on Facebook and we are live on the recording device.
I just have fun doing this. Playing with stuff.
You're not playing
No,
with
this
anything.
is Married AF, episode 80-something, 2, I think.
82.
And I've got glaucoma.
No, you don't.
And big facism.
You need to look dead on at the camera so that they can see how narrow those glasses are on your face.
Can we see?
It's not as, like, you can't tell as good as I can in person.
Yeah. No,
Like
they're bending. Yeah, they're bending the arms. For sure.
They don't make just off the shelf glasses that fit your face, baby.
Not for a face like mine.
No. And when I went to the eye doctor, Deb said that she's still on the lookout for the glasses that you wanted in your face width size.
Which is kind of embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. You're a big guy.
Yeah, but for God's sake, if they just segue out the whole portion of the world that's my size, is it that small of a percentage? I figured we'd be a decent market.
I can't answer that, babe. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's take these Jello shots before I tongue fuck it to death.
All right. What do I have here? I have peach. Oh, good. I like
strawberry slammer.
All right. Cheers.
We'll do this to Mother's Day to all the other mothers, even though it's the day after.
It is the day after, but happy Mother's Day late. God, I cannot do these cleanly. I always make a mess.
You have a real problem with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do.
So let's talk a little bit about old Mother's Day. Hopefully everybody had a good Mother's Day.
Yes.
Hopefully you called your mothers.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't, you're a real piece of shit.
Well, I didn't talk to my mom on Mother's Day.
Well, you're a real piece of shit.
No, last year when we took her out to eat, she didn't.
I'm totally kidding. I think that you have plenty of reason.
I know. It was kind of over her head last year. She was like, "What?
Yeah, I don't think
what is this?"
she totally would know.
No.
It might confuse her more than help her.
And I talked to Dad last night, and he was wishing me a happy Mother's Day, and we just didn't even broach the subject. He was like, "It's just another day for her." So, but yay, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and we had a wonderful weekend. You spoiled me per the usual.
Yeah, we do usually a whole weekend of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had actually surprised me, because we have a lot of friends. I look at their, I watch and see how they're taking care of their spouses.
You judge?
Or not taking care of them.
And you're judging?
Yeah, because I think it's a mistake. I mean, like everyone knows here, I've done things the wrong way before and the right way on things, and I know that there's an importance there, but it feels like right now everything is so divided in the country. It's not just politics.
Mm-hmm.
That if so many guys feel like if they celebrate, okay, I can't do the glasses.
Thank you.
if they make a big deal of their wife on Mother's Day, then it's somehow saying that fathers are shit. And I'm like, it's not.
What?
Yeah, I think you see it all the time. Like
maybe she would be more inclined.
Like, we get hosed as dads.
Since when?
But when does it? They're not the same. So why? Everything's clumped into a competition.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. There doesn't need to be.
Well, yeah. For one, it's not the same being a mother and being a father. It's not the same.
We didn't shit a kid out.
And even if you adopted or whatever, it's still just it's just not the same. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, or one's any easier than the other, but it's different. But it's not like we don't celebrate you on Father's Day. We do. We did a whole damn podcast with the children for you last year on Father's Day.
100%. Children definitely love me more than you. That's clear.
Go fuck you.
I'm kidding. But it's fine. And I think that there's no need to make it like that. It doesn't have to be a competition. And you don't have to, my point, I know now, we bought you like a present every day and gave it to you, but you don't have to do that.
No. It's
not even about the amount of money, but you see some people, they don't even want to make any deal of it. And I wish I could tell them that even if your wife tells you, you don't have to do anything, that's not true. You're being so baited.
Oh, if you believe that shit.
It's just effort. I mean, even if it's just cook a nice dinner.
And have the kids make a bigger deal out of it even. Like that's, whatever. I mean, but let me just say one thing. If you are one of those guys that doesn't celebrate your wife on Mother's Day because she's not your mother, then
I've seen those.
Jump straight off a cliff and lose our number for sure, because you're a sack of trash. I mean, they've done that on the Burt Show before, where they've had that argument of having guys call up and try to debate their side when they have that belief, and everybody just is like, "What? Seriously?"
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you've just got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And you can't win that fight. You can't. No. You can't just say, Charlie said my mic's not working.
I hear you, baby, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I hear myself coming through. You're not hearing me, Charlie?
Huh.
But you're hearing Brooke.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. What was I saying?
I don't know.
You don't even know what
know
I was
when
saying.
to hold them and know when to fold.
You can't make. You're not going to win that fight, and you shouldn't want to have the fight in the first place. But
that's a real I don't understand that stance.
No, never really.
The only way I see it is that you really don't respect and love your wife. Then, if that's your view.
I think what it is your wife probably doesn't celebrate you, and you two are resenting each other. That's where I usually.
It's full of resentment. Any kind of statement like that is just full to the brim of resentment. And hang on, I keep trying to. But anyways, Mother's Day was fabulous, and I hope everybody had a good weekend. It was shitbag weather here this weekend.
It was. That really sucked. But the majority of everybody that we know it was great to see all their stuff. Mm-hmm. And celebrating moms. I'm telling you, we get a front load here from Griffin's birthday, your birthday, Valentine's, Mother's Day.
Well, it's from Halloween on.
Yeah, it's brutal.
We get a break in January, and then it's Griffin's birthday, then my birthday, then nothing in April, then Mother's Day, then Father's Day, then it's our trip to Manning Camp and the beach. Mm-hmm. And then when we get back from that, it's going to be just a few weeks until Gunnar starts kindergarten. And then it'll be just a couple months until, and for some reason, that August, September timeframe is the high season for birthday parties and shit for Gunnar to go to.
Yeah.
And then before we know it, it'll be all over again, starting with Halloween.
My dome is shining.
This is too distracting for you to be able to see yourself.
It is possibly a bad decision. Can you hear me on the live?
No, I'm not going to play it on here.
I need to know if Charlie's lying to me.
All that matters to me really is
it showing me on the recording?
It's recording for the podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out later if it's not for live, but
yeah, but I've got a couple of good stories I don't want people to miss, but we can actually.
Are we doing this whole episode live?
No, we can go ahead and kill it just to check it to see. I just wanted to say hello to everybody.
I mean.
Yeah, let's go ahead and we can kick off of the live, babe.
Okay.
We got business
too many things
to do.
Out. All right. Let me get back to there. All right, guys.
See y'all. Shuck it.
Listen to episode 82 when it comes out. Bye.
Yeah, so all right, we covered Mother's Day. A couple other housekeeping things. We're Brooke and Randall.
Married AF podcast.
Yeah. We're part of the Civilized Creatures Entertainment Network.
We are.
You're welcome. And we have some great shows on there. And I'm not going to go through listing them because you all know. But what I do want to talk about is I want to recap our new show that is changing the face of podcasting. Podcast of the Round Table. You've all listened to it, everyone on earth. Already episode 1 in the books. And, you know, Brooke was a competitor, so I wanted to ask her, get her thoughts on it. Jody B was declared the winner officially.
Jody B was victorious, yes.
Did all the votes, and Facebook and Twitter combined them and found the winner. Jody B from Po Boys was the winner.
Yep.
No doubter. There's no fuckery, and there's no debate.
Yeah, we combined. We had the polls on Twitter. We had a poll on Twitter, and then we had the 2 polls on Facebook because that for some reason Facebook only lets you do 2 options. So it was 2 different ones from me and John, and then Jason and Jody. I was pulling up the caboose in last place, which I fully expected.
You made up a lot of room on Facebook, though.
I did. So I appreciate everybody that voted for me and everybody that listened. It was fun. I mean, it was the first episode. That's not necessarily my forte.
No, there's a whole segment of questions that is not your forte.
Yeah.
Anything that gets into anything political is not your funnest.
No, you didn't have any political.
I know, but even if it has
time,
slight political ramifications, like assisted suicide can get into politics.
Yes,
so
that one was the closest.
Transgender
one.
Can get into politics.
Yep.
You know, I was like, I enjoyed hearing Wutsky and the Duchess break down the episode on their last episode of #NoOffense.
Yeah, I love that Wutsky said he had like a pad and paper out and was like scoring it like a UFC, like a UFC fight, like who won each round. I won 0 rounds.
Well, no, and that's what I was going to say. I would disagree with him which I can't vote as the host. That would be a conflict, so I recuse myself from that. But if I were scoring the rounds, to me, you would have won the sexual harassment round question, not only because you're the only woman that could actually really speak to it, but because your answer was the best. You said people just need to stop being so fucking sensitive. I would check your box for that question, would have been yours.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that.
But
you're also my lover and sexual partner.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't want to say who I thought would have won because I really could have seen it going any way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought it depends on how you want to score the show, which is what our goal was from the jump. Mm-hmm. It depends. If your goal is who was the funniest, then a certain person was probably the winner. If your thing was who has the most intelligent answer, your winner was probably a different person. Uh-huh. If your question was who followed the rules, never went over, but filled their time the most,
apparently
within the parameters, then your winner was probably another person.
Yeah.
So it could have went however you want.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, we didn't set any rules around all that. It's all just a poll based on your personal feelings about those. But what's funny to me is that there was some strong feelings about the fact that Almy went over the time limit.
Yeah.
On a couple questions. I thought it was like that.
I didn't think it'd be a big shit.
Didn't even.
But it
didn't
bother me. A couple people, and the thing is because we have a waiting list of people competing.
Yeah.
And I think they're like, you know what, fuck that. Because if I go over, I don't want to get dinged. If they're not, I've got to ding out, which Wutsky got to give him credit. That's his boy, his network pal, best, they're great friends. And he was like, couldn't vote for you, dog.
Yeah, you went overtime. I think next time we need to get some kind of buzzer that like everybody
I'm going to do
hear.
hand signals now that I can be on video.
Hand signals?
Yeah, like I'll give you the middle finger when you got 15 seconds.
Okay.
Since we're all on video.
Yeah, true. Also, I think a buzzer for the audio people listening.
Do you want me to just make a buzzer sound myself? I could. We do grenades.
Or we could have a sound effect for a buzzer.
If it's reliable, I'm cool with that. I don't trust technology.
I know you don't, Randall.
I don't believe.
Now, we're getting a new mixer tomorrow. We'll have to figure all that shit out. Because before, with my iPad hooked up, like, I don't even know how to do that now with how we have all the cords working like this, which is better how we have it. When we get our new mixer tomorrow, it'll probably be similar.
I mean, worst case, I'll just make a buzzer sound.
It'd have to be loud, though. You were like, your time's over, Almy. Your time's... And he's like...
Until his last 100. Time it was over, when I said, you're over, Almy.
Yeah.
And he heard me. Because I don't think I believe him.
He didn't hear you.
But he goes. And in those of you that listen, know. Here's my takeaway from it. The biggest thing I learned from episode 1 is a whole lot of shit. But I learned how talented Almy is. I knew he was talented, but watching him on video, especially going back, watching it.
Yeah, you couldn't see it during.
Seeing his, him soaking, he played really smart. And Almy was going for being entertaining.
Yeah.
Which is, you got to take an angle. Do you want to be, I think John was taking the route, and I think he always will, and it's his personality of, my answer will be the best answer. It'll be the most
educated
common sense,
and
fact-based.
Yes, fact. Like, this is what is real life. Like, yeah. And Almy's going for like shock comedy factor, and Jody
is a mixture.
Yes,
he's a piece of both, and so I see that value. And yours are going to be. You're never going to go long.
No. Sorry, fellas.
And that's fine. You need to have that.
I'm not a long-winded person in any... Like, I can talk when I want to, for sure. We have a fucking podcast, so obviously I can. But even at work, I have to do a lot of presentations and stuff, and I'm always very, like, concise and to the point. I'm not just going to talk just to fill the space.
No, you'll start going in circles. I know you will. If you have to start doing that, it'll just be like a dog chasing its tail. So you shouldn't.
No, exactly. And I hate that. And so.
No,
I just stop talking when
that's
I'm
not
done.
a bad thing. I think it's smart that you do that. And I mean, going toe to toe, that first episode was very stacked. I mean, that's two. We could have easily spread out Jody and Almy. But every episode, I hope, is that professional. Everybody respected each other's time. Nobody was jumping over each other. We didn't edit shit as far as like people jumping over anybody. So
I don't know. John edited it, so I don't know.
I'm talking about
Thanks, John.
We were there live. No one ever jumped over somebody's shit and interjected during their 3 minutes.
Oh my God. A gnat just flew
I watched it.
My nose.
I saw it.
What the fuck?
It was like Ant-Man jumping up your nose.
Oh my God.
That's awesome when they do that.
Oh my
but yeah, there's no... God,
I feel violated.
There's no shame in the fact that your personal... Because you're not the host... that your pick would have been Almy to win. Correct?
Correct. I said that during the episode.
Yeah.
I wrote it down and showed you because he was cracking me up.
And that's because that you as a listener would go for the funny, right?
That's nothing against. I thought John. I was like kicking myself after hearing some of John's answers. Like, God damn it! Like
John had the best line
now
of the whole show
I
to me.
feel dumb as shit about the sex doll shocking.
And taking that thing to the Lord.
Taking that thing to the Lord. Yes.
That was the best line. If you take one line out of the whole show,
yes.
I think John had the best single line. People sleep on John, and I think they're opening their eyes to John.
Yeah.
Because they have this tendency to put him in the podcast editing box. And the dude's got podcast chops. He's funny. He's smart. He's super smart. I mean, he's fucking smarter than all of us combined. and he's 100. So he's been around. He's seen all the shit. He's had tons of different shows over the years. So he's had shows that lean more toward politics. So he knows his politics. He's had the comedy. So he knows the funny. Mm-hmm. He's dangerous. And I'm glad that people are getting exposed to him more in our crowd.
Well, just a different crowd. Yeah, he's got plenty of exposure over the years.
Yeah, but the fuckery crowd. Yes. To see that he can bring that.
The misfit crowd. Yeah. It was a good time, though. I really liked it, and I'm looking forward to who's the next one?
The next one is Adam Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And
from the Simmons and More podcast.
Yeah, and Maddox from Heavyweight Chumps, not Thunder Cookies.
So Devin is Thunder Cookies.
Yes.
Maddox is just Maddox.
Yes.
And I still don't know which one is which, like their faces.
Yeah.
Or their Twitter handles.
I have a hard time knowing their voices are so...
They sound a lot alike.
A lot alike.
You know, some of the guys on Pub Shenanigans sound like Heavyweight Chumps to me.
So you're saying country folk.
Just country dudes. Yeah. They have similar like twangs to their accent is all I'm saying. And because when we were doing the game night the other night, that clusterfuck.
Well, that worked out swimmingly.
And when one of the guys from Pub Shenanigans was talking, I was like, man, they remind me of just the...
Yeah, you got Eric, Pickle. Mm-hmm. I still don't know the old guy that came on, Jiminy, that told the story of shitting himself in his truck.
Yeah.
I respect those guys are just drinking, having a good... And don't give a fuck. That guy jumped on with total strangers on a video that was going out to the world and told everyone about shitting himself.
Yeah, he's part of the podcast, babe.
I know, but I'm just saying, I respect it.
Yeah.
I love it. I find their show hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I like their show, too. Do we have any of the girls from What's in Your Hometown, either one of them coming on Podcast of the Round Table?
We don't have the Podcast of the Round Table, but me, you, and John and Larry are doing a introduction show with them soon on... it'll be a live stream that we do off the Civilized Creatures to kind of introduce everybody to them.
Oh, fun.
That's coming up soon. They're going to be our Civilized Creatures featured show.
Okay.
We're going to do one of those a month and feature a show and
cool
group, kind of introduce them and try to expand everybody's audiences to each other.
Well, you know, I'm super pumped that they're on our network, and I'm ready for them to come out with a new episode because I know they took a break because they graduated law school and they're moving to opposite ends of the country and got to get set up. But
yeah, I think they're going to be a huge...
I think... was it Sam that's moving to Vegas?
I don't know. I know one of them is. I think it is
today. I think she was moving to Vegas. So, and then the other one's moving. Julia's moving to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but we will be doing another Civilized Creatures game night, and it'll be better. This one was just a shit show for a million reasons. I'm not even going to go into the reasons. It was just...
Oh, it was crazy town. I mean,
you have to learn from it, though. I'm fine with it being a shit show. You got to bail.
Can't shit gold every time.
No, and you've got to shit diarrhea sometimes if you want to.
All right, so what else are we talking about tonight? Because we have already been rambling for 23 minutes. And
yeah, I've got a few things here on my list of life. Okay, we covered the Podcast of the Round Table. I'm going to jump in order, shockingly, to you and go to a quick listener question because I've got a story that ties into it.
It's the next thing on your list?
No, there's something before that. I'm going to finish with that. So, hey, guys, do either of you have a celebrity doppelganger?
Oh. Well, so I've been told that I have two. One of them's a cartoon, and the cartoon might be more spot on. The Daria cartoon from, what was that, on MTV?
Yes. Yes.
Turn it towards your face.
Yes.
Mr. Yes, Alex. And Zooey Deschanel.
That's incorrect.
Incorrect?
Yeah, you've also got Sarah Palin, Tina Fey.
Tina Fallon as Sarah Palin.
Tina Palin as Sarah Palin?
Yeah.
Tina Fey as Sarah Palin.
As Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
That's what I did for Halloween like 10, 12 years ago.
That's how strong glass play, which is glasses, created that look. That thing is called glass play. can be for women. Like literally, you can throw a pair of like thicker librarian glasses on them. Boom, you're Sarah Palin if you got dark hair.
Well, and Tina Fey wears the same kind of glasses I do.
Tina Fey's closer to you, like really looking like the Sarah Palin. I think was strictly the glasses. You could pull it off, and dark hair.
Well, then in that same vein, there was somebody else that popped in my head and then completely just left. Fuck me. You have that one football player. That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, there's not every doppelganger or people that when they say I look like it's some kind of cartoon, some fucking.
I just get offended when people send like some giant fat guy with a beard. I'm like, that's not Randall.
Well, it could be. Probably will be eventually.
I'm like, just because it's a big guy with a beard and that's bald, like, not him.
No. I get more of like the villains and shit that people send out, but it's not really, there's no.
Oh, Aaron said something like, you look like somebody from the Umbrella Academy. We did not watch that show on Netflix. I went and watched the trailer, and because I'd seen the one for season 1, watched it again, and then I watched the trailer for season 2, and you know who's in it, which you probably saw on Facebook when I responded to him.
No.
Is the guy that, Cameron Britton, the guy that played Ed Kemper.
Oh. And
I was like, ooh, is that who he's talking about?
Oh. No, but I've seen the comics for that, and the guy that Aaron was saying I look like is like half ape. He's human head with like an ape body.
So like Joe Rogan.
But a real hairy ape body.
So like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan's more like a chimp.
He's got some real hairy hands.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's carved out of like wood or cable. But the reason why I say this is I had a story that I haven't even told you. It happened before we moved. And I'd had it in my notes to tell it on the show a bunch of times. And, of course, I would move on and start a new note by the time we had a show, and that one would get pushed away, so it's never been included. But one of the last times I was shopping at the Kroger by our old house, I was standing in line behind this lady, and everyone at that Kroger knew me. So the register lady was, saying hey to me while she was checking out this other lady. And the other lady looked at me, the customer, and said, I love your shirt. I was wearing the All Rifles Matter shirt.
God, every time you wear that shirt, people...
And she was like, I love your shirt. And the register lady then says to her, he's so sweet. He's such, is one of the older ladies.
Yeah.
And she was like, he's such a sweet guy. Yada, yada, yada. And the older customer lady responding back to her while I'm standing there, I can hear both of them. She was like, and he's handsome.
Oh.
Which is fine. That in itself was very sweet and nice. But then she was finishing getting her groceries. I could tell she wanted to ask me something, but didn't know if it was appropriate. And she turned around before she walked off with her groceries and said, I've got to tell you, you look just like my husband that passed away.
Oh.
Can I give you a hug? Oh. And she gave me like the biggest hug. Oh, and I mean, it was, usually you'd be like, oh, is this a,
this is
if
weird.
She was like a younger woman, I'd be like, this is some bullshit or something. Yeah. This was legit. It was so weird, and it was great, and it was very sweet, and of course I was happy to give her a hug, but the way she hugged me was really like, it was weird. Like I felt like it was almost like the movie Ghost. Like I was using my body.
He was there, like hugging her back.
Yeah, like, what's her name? Whoopi Goldberg was using her body to let Patrick Swayze come through. Mm-hmm. Like I almost felt like that. It was so weird, but I can't. And I've been saving it. I didn't tell you intentionally. I wanted to tell you on the show. Yeah, it's been like a month.
Oh,
well, but it was so weird. So I guess he's my doppelganger.
Whoever that lady's husband.
Yeah, and she was only she was probably late 50s, early 60s.
Oh,
so
that's so sad.
Probably died of like a heart attack or something.
Oh, well, I'm glad that probably made her year.
Well, it made more sense to her why she said I was handsome.
No, why? Yeah,
because her husband, who obviously she thought he was handsome. Well,
yeah, but
it makes it more appropriate, is what I'm saying. Okay. Like it all ties it together.
Gotcha.
Once she said that to me, and the thing I liked the most was I was like, I respect the guts. that she couldn't let herself walk away from that situation. I mean, because, of course, I don't know how much this guy looked like me.
Well, but
it's
at least you're a nice guy and we're willing to oblige.
Well, she was super sweet.
Yeah, but, I mean, plenty of people could have been like, that's weird.
What a dick.
Yeah, there's plenty of dicks.
I mean, I'm with you. I know there definitely would be some people that would be like, come on. My personal space. Please stay away. Yeah. Which usually I'm not a big fan of it, but when it's, I mean, that was clearly
you're
not
a big
ruse.
Softie too, and of course would not be like, I got a shit.
No. But I did think it was a very cool story, so I wanted to share that.
Sweet. I like that.
I thought it was
and you are handsome and sexy.
Moving. But it got real. Like I was like, oh, damn. This is tough. Like
that makes me.
Should I try to hug her like I think he would hug her? Do I do the arms straight up behind her? Do I come all the way? Do I grab the ass?
That's taking it too far.
Ooh, you are my husband. Do I slap her rear end? I just went for the old standard, but she definitely power gripped me around. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. But the other thing, we are doing a new little segment experience with Doug and Anthony. I haven't told you about. I tell you nothing. People don't realize that everything is thrown at you the second you know nothing.
Which is just like the podcast, The Roundtable.
You absolutely, when we record, have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about.
No.
And I think it's better that way.
It is better. I don't need to, unless there's something that you want me to prepare some kind of response for, which has happened like one time.
Or when The Walking Dead's on.
Or when The Walking Dead's on, then I prepare like a summary as best I can. And Big Brother. But, which we haven't done a whole lot of that. I mean, neither one are on right now, so it doesn't matter. But, so what were you going to?
So we're doing a news after everybody knows Doug came on last week. His episode's been done hugely well. Probably gotten the most feedback of any episode from people that they love the episode. It's been one of our best where people have reached out to me and been like, dude, that was a great episode.
Mm-hmm. It was good. It was fun.
It was like a different side to Doug. It was weird. I was like, I mean, I could kind of see what they're saying. He was kind of, I enjoyed it. I thought that it gave a little
He seemed like good old Doug to me.
Yeah.
It was fun, though. I mean, he did open up some. I mean, but it's not like he's...
Well, he's not fighting with Anthony, which is their whole thing. You know, he wasn't having to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but he's a fun interview because if you don't, you know, I thought it was just smooth. It was easy. It was like talking to a friend. But what is he doing? Because I don't think Doug's one. Like, I could see him if he's sitting in an interview with you and you're not interesting or if it's not going smooth, that he would just be like, you know what? This isn't working out. Y'all have a good night.
Right? Oh, I could totally see him doing that to somebody, being like, I'm not feeling this. Bye.
Yeah, this sucks. It's not funny and it's not fun. So,
yeah.
But anyway, so we were talking and, you know, he chimed in on our listener questions and was funny as shit about them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to send him one listener question a week if we get a good one. Uh-huh. And they're going to have a segment. I think they're going to call it something like Ask Dr. Doug and Nurse Anthony. And it's going to be one of our questions, but they give their side, record it, and send it to us. We'll discuss the same question on the episode and see how theirs is compared to ours. Like we'll go first and then play theirs and record it.
Perfect.
So I sent them the first one tonight, and I think they're trying to record. So I'm looking forward to hearing that discussion between them two. But it'll be a cool segment. But check them out, definitely. They're kind of blowing up right now. They've had a lot of exposure here recently, which is great for them and everybody else with the Louis J. Gomez, the Who Are These podcasts, and Who Are These podcasts are doing Your Mom's House.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did Crystalia. We listened to that episode.
Tore his ass up.
Kind of, but they were like, but they also were like, he's a famous professional comedian.
Mm-hmm. But I guess it's very rare that they ever are like, this is just a good round show.
Honestly, my favorite murder, they were like, they're not fans of true crime podcasts, I don't think, because they're not, like, they will say over and over, I don't want somebody to just read me the internet. Mm-hmm. And true crime podcasts are reading you a story of, it's a compilation of different sources on the internet that they put into one story and read it to you. So if that's not what if you don't like somebody reading you a story basically and adding their own interjections and flair, then don't listen to true crime, because that's what it is. But they actually were like, I think you were sleeping in the car on the way down to Disney. I listened to their episode on.
I remember listening to some of it.
On them. And of course they were like giving them shit about the, because it takes them about 20, 30 minutes to even get into the true crime, because they're just like,
well, and as they get more famous, they have more shit that they're, what do they call them, murderinos?
Yeah.
That they want to hear about, like their cats, their relationships, their personal shit.
They have a goddamn book coming out this month.
Yeah, they're fucking rolling it.
They've
done a world tour.
A couple world tours. Those tickets are like $200 a pop. I was like, oh, they're coming last year. And then I was like, we can't afford to go. We can't afford nosebleed tickets to this motherfucker.
Two chicks talking about cases that have been regurgitated 100 times, putting on a fucking show for 20,000 folks in London. Mm-hmm. Crazy how podcasts can catch fire.
Oh, I know. But so they were like, they didn't tear them up too bad. I mean, they always have shit to say.
That's the whole thing, though. The charm of it, as I'm learning, like I said with Doug, if they didn't shit on you, I would be more worried about that. Like, I think their listeners are expecting the way that they show love is by shitting on it. Because there's going to be something you can find in every show.
Right.
Every show. If you listen to enough bits, if you dissect the show enough, dear God, I would retch at them doing one of ours.
Our feelings would get hurt so bad.
I don't know. I'm starting to get it. Like, it's all fuckery. So I would still be hurt, yes, but not like I used to be.
I know. That's why I think I made a point to be like, I don't want them to listen, Doug. Don't send them our show.
He probably already has.
I know. They're probably bored of it, and they're like, because I think that's what, if they're just like completely bored with a show and they have there's nothing to say about it, then they're not going to do it.
No, I think they would turn it down.
But, and obviously, I don't think our show's that boring. I think it's good, but I would be like cringing if they did it. I love that show, but I don't want them to do ours.
I do too. And fuck, man, they've expanded their audience. It's a big ass show.
Yeah, they're one of the only podcasts that I've seen on Apple that has like a 2-star rating.
Well, that shows you that how sensitive everyone is.
It's all the haters. Yeah. Just all the haters, which is, but they've got like, I don't know how many reviews. It's a lot though.
I know, but I bet the people that give them the 2-star still listen all the time.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Which is the stupid part. But I think at this point, isn't their horrible rating kind of their badge of honor?
That's their thing. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's kind of what, I mean, I want to say one of the first, they got a 3-star rating. I'm sorry, with 920 ratings. So, I mean, and Your Mom's House has been released.
Oh, okay. I just saw something.
It came out Saturday.
I'm interested in that.
The Real Ass Podcast, that's the one, is that the Louis J. Gomez one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's from April 20th.
So he's also got Legion of Skanks that he does with Big J and another guy. Gas Digital is their network. It's huge. It's a legit, real deal moneymaker network.
Yeah, the chewed gum episode is my favorite though, guys. I'm just saying.
What'd you hear about your girl Alyssa Milano's sex strike calling?
My girl Alyssa Milano? I mean,
Yeah.
I liked Who's the Boss just as much as the next guy.
Did you hear her sex strike though, and why she has pitched it?
No.
Yeah.
Sex strike. So she's
Alyssa
striking
Milano,
from sex from her husband?
People that don't know, Georgia recently passed their heartbeat law. So you cannot have an abortion legally in Georgia after 6 weeks.
I'm not against that.
I know whether you are or not. Me and you are both predominantly pro-choice. Like, you should have the choice.
Absolutely.
But I'm okay with them setting we're not going to be getting rid of your halfway pregnancy and shit like that. And so, yeah, I'm with you. Like, it is what it is. I don't know what's a better time period than another, but politically, we would both, I think, say we're pro-choice people.
Absolutely. I think probably 10 weeks is a little bit more time to be able to make a
because you could just find out you're pregnant at 6 weeks.
I found out I was pregnant at 6 weeks.
Yeah, like you might not even know.
Right. Like I was 6 weeks pregnant when we found out. So that's where I'm like, and we didn't hear the heartbeat till 10 weeks because they said you can't hear the heartbeat. So that's where I'm a little bit like skeptical.
I think science is just getting better and better. They can detect heartbeats up to at 6 weeks.
Okay.
But either way, we're not talking about the legislation. So that passed. So Alyssa Milano then rallies her troops and gets everybody, don't film movies in Georgia. If you do, you're a real piece of shit.
Okay.
and you know what else? No sex, women. We're not to have any sex until they change. If our rights are taken away, then their pussy rights are gone. So here's my thoughts on
Who's
that.
getting punished for that? Nobody in Georgia. You don't live in Georgia, you dumb slut.
Yeah, but her friends and her followers.
Oh, sure they are.
Here's who that hurts. That, if anything, to me, this is just my opinion, that teaches these 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old girls, you know what? I'm going to use my pussy as the bargaining chip in everything. So if I can't get this, boom, sex strike. For one, it's ridiculous. The whole thing. And I can't even believe it until I looked into it. It's real. Like for real, like did the whole power thing, got up and had like a speech about it. And so the sex strike is real, and it's for women across the country, but it's in response to the legislation that just passed here in Georgia.
Okay.
Because here in Georgia, the film industry is booming because it's cheap to make movies here.
Well, they've passed all kind of like
tax
benefits if you come and film it. A shitload of stuff is filmed. Yeah, it's like Hollywood of the South is what it's been deemed now, apparently. And it's not just Atlanta. It's the state of Georgia. Like, because you really can get just about any type of geography that you want. You can get some mountains. You can get some swamp. You can get some coast.
Some country.
Some forest. Some country, city, farms, whatever. Ghetto, whatever you want, you can find it here. Pretty much. I mean, you're not going to get like the Rocky Mountains, but you can get
you can make it look like it.
The foothills
Hollywood
of
can make it look
yes,
like it.
Exactly. So, good luck with that. I'm sure it's working, Alyssa Milano.
And I'm sure she's going to turn down her if she gets offered a lead role in a huge budget movie here in Georgia. She's going to say no.
Oh, she'll turn it down. Sure, yeah, because she's. Is Charmed still on TV? I don't think. I mean,
what's that like? How can you do that?
She's probably still getting paid syndication for
what
that.
What about married people and shit? So she's just wanting
Nobody's doing it.
Of course not. But the you have to think someone's going to do it if you're the one organizing that or putting that out there. But how many housewives are like, you know what? She's right.
Well, some housewives might be using.
Sorry, Bob. None for you, sir.
Well,
until you get Georgia to change this law.
They might be those wives that don't want to have sex with their husbands anyways and are like using this as an excuse. But Georgia's a pretty conservative state.
It's a very conservative state.
There's not going to be many people in Georgia that are going to be like, I'm in. I mean, plenty in the city of Atlanta, maybe, I guess. But like... most people in Georgia are going to tell her to blow it out her ass.
Yeah, but it's the wrong way to get people to rally. I'm all for you in your belief.
Rallying for your cause, yeah.
And moving voters and getting people to even protest. That's everyone's right. And you can hate that this was passed here in Georgia. That's fine. I'm with you. I mean, like we were saying, we can talk about the times and everything all day. But for fuck's sake. Saying that if they're not, if they're going to put a date on of 6 weeks at the limit for obtaining an abortion, you're going to not give up the puss.
Don't use your vagine as a bargaining chip ever. No, and not find another way to try and rally your cause, because that's fucking stupid.
I thought it was fake, and then I looked into it, and it's real as can be.
Nobody's doing the sex strike, Alyssa Milano. Nobody. And if they say they are, they're lying, or they just didn't want to have sex anyways with their husband, or they don't have anybody to have sex with.
Yeah, and again, this has nothing to do with the issue.
No, that has nothing. Like what?
Zero. I understand how people are split on this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I would say both of us are pro-choice people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to bargain shit. For one, there's nothing that's going to pass that's going to make me bargain dick. It is, it is
There's
what
nothing,
it is.
There's no law out there that I would want to try and protest with, because what the fuck is that going to do? What is that going to prove to anybody in the legislature if you're not having sex?
Oh, how do they know that you're following through?
Right. It is the most asinine thing. Like what? That has
Votes you can measure.
That has no impact on anything outside of your own bedroom.
And hurting your spouse or whoever it is. Because I would think that if it's no sex, that would count for gays, all sex, whether it's gay sex, straight sex, it doesn't matter. And so all it's going to do is be hurting your partner.
Well, then it's even less relevant. Like if it's for an abortion thing, what? So you want everybody to stop having sex, even people that can't get each other pregnant?
Well, and so I need to know what her criteria of sex is. Can you still titty bang?
Can you give a handy?
Handies, mouthies. Can you do ass play? But no, is it just the vaginal canal? That is off limits on this sex strike.
Nor do I care, because it's stupid.
What constitutes sex? Since we put the 6-week limit, I need to know the rules.
Just the tip. Just the tip count.
What if no one ejaculates? Does that count?
What if the man has had their prostate removed and he can't produce semen anyways?
Well, that would be more of a vasectomy. That would stop prostate removal. You'd still be able to produce it, right? You don't?
No.
I mean,
False.
I could totally be wrong.
You're absolutely 100% wrong.
So once you have a prostate removal, you're basically having a vasectomy that's better than a vasectomy?
So let me give you a little science lesson. Vasectomy just prevents your sperm from being included with the seminal fluid.
Yeah, it does the bypass.
Channeling my inner Dr. Ashley here.
And got you.
The prostate produces all of the fluid that houses the sperm, and because the sperm comes from your nutsack.
Yeah. So you ejaculate just non-sperm
it's seminal.
liquid.
Yep. When you have a vasectomy, you're shooting blanks. You got fluid coming out, but there's no sperm in it. When your prostate's removed, and I learned this actually on Howard Stern because Ben Stiller had prostate cancer. And he was talking about, because of course Howard Stern goes straight for the...
Of course.
Well, what does it feel like to bust a nut?
Is it just poof?
Yes.
Nice.
You still have an orgasm, but there's nothing that comes out.
That's so funny. and anticlimactic.
Well, and that's what he was like. At first, it was weird. He said it took a little bit to get used to. Because you still have an orgasm, but there's just nothing produced.
I think that would be a mind fuck. That would be a terrible magic trick.
Because is the actual physical...
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You just school. I had no idea. So that's great to learn. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought you still did everything normal from a prostate removal. So
no, you just had it backwards. So you're thinking that because technically... We were supposed to shut down the baby factory when I turned 40. If I didn't get pregnant. Yeah. I think you were just thinking I was going to get pregnant before 40.
I just don't want more surgeries.
Oh, sure. This one isn't even one you have to go under for. And I'm not pushing it because as long as you don't get it, then it's still, whatever. But you were thinking that once you got a vasectomy that you weren't going to produce anything anymore?
No, I knew that you shot blanks from a vasectomy.
Okay.
I thought that prostate removal had no
bearing
on your ejaculate. So you taught me something.
Yeah.
I knew what the vasectomy does.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't know that when you had your prostate removed, you ejaculate air and make a weird face with no evidence of why.
Which, I can imagine. Strange. I can imagine his wife, because I mean, I know, like when we have sex, like I can feel it.
Of course, because it's that forceful. Everyone, you're welcome.
Such a man.
Yeah. So I wonder,
So does that count?
So it would. I wonder if it feels like when you shoot one of those Nerf guns with no dart in it. Like you hear it.
When you hear the dunk,
yeah,
but there's nothing that comes out. That's exactly what it feels. And that's what kind of how Ben Stiller described it on Howard Stern.
Well, good for Ben Stiller too for sharing with the world. Because that's went on educational.
He went on like a whole press tour. I don't know about talking about how it feels to come after.
I don't know if everyone would ask that, but no. Howard.
But because he like kind of was laying low for a while because he had prostate cancer.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So it was, a whole thing of getting treated and getting it removed and recovery and all that.
He caught it real early.
Yeah, which is great. Good. Yeah, but he went on like a whole like interview tour talking about like awareness and promoting, getting your prostate checked and all that. But I think that wouldn't count in Alyssa Milano's thing because there's no sperm. Or even anything remotely like it.
Yeah, that's insanity, and I don't.
Her whole thing's stupid.
I'm confused. I'm still bewildered by what that's like for Ben Stiller, like mentally.
John.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm sure I'll get prostate cancer at some point.
Maybe.
Most men get that. They even find it in dead men. Every man, if you live long enough, will get prostate cancer.
Well, you're getting yours checked when you go get your physical every year, right?
Well, now my next one is the first one that I get the finger. Dr. Williamson said it's after 40.
After 40, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, technically,
I've had it before from when I had colonoscopies from my gallbladder, and when I got my physical for the Naval Academy.
I've just been getting mammograms for 10 years already because of Susan's breast cancer. So I was thinking you were already getting yours, but that makes sense.
No, but they also test it with blood better now too. But yeah. All right, where are we at on time? We done?
Yeah, let's be done. It's 52 minutes. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, that's glorious, tits. So, tell everybody all of our socials, all the network socials, every show on our network socials, and their social security numbers. Share that with everyone, please.
Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or wherever you're listening to Married AF and give us 5 stars and tell us to go fuck ourselves for all I care. We will love you for it. And you'll find us on Twitter at Married as Fuck. You'll find us on Instagram and Facebook, Married AF Podcast. And our network is Civilized Creatures. And on Instagram, we are Civilized Creatures. Twitter, Civilized ENT. Mm-hmm. And Facebook, Civilized Creatures. And that's it.
And keep sending us, if you got questions you want us to talk about on the show, that is marriedafpod@gmail.com.
Yep.
We welcome those always. And if you send them, we're not famous enough yet to not read them. So we will read all of them.
We will immediately read them.
We will make the show.
Yeah.
As you all know.
We did get an email that you didn't address.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Our buddy from Pub Shenanigans.
Speaking of email. Pub Shenanigans. Eric from Pub Shenanigans wanted to give a shout out to his wife since we were talking about Mother's Day. His wife, Kat. She's amazing because she is the hardest worker. This is his email. I'm just going to read it as him because it's hard. She's amazing because she's the hardest worker I know, keeps our ship afloat and heading in the right direction. Plus, she has to deal with me, which is instant sainthood. So, there you go, Kat. Eric loves you, and as he should.
See, guys, that's smart. A smart move on Eric's part. Just that little bit is genius. I like where his head's at.
It is.
Told everybody they could send those to us, other podcasters, and we'd be happy to read them on our show. He's the only one that responded, which shows he's the only one that loves his wife. And
besides you.
So there. Well, I've already said mine.
I know.
but he is a gentleman
and a scholar
and a champion.
Yep.
Pub Shenanigans. Check them out. All the other shows on our network. We will be doing like I said, an introduction show. I don't know if I said that before we were recording or not, but What's in Your Hometown, our true crime, urban legendy show. We're going to do a monthly thing where we feature a show on our network for that month, and they're going to be our first one. So you'll be hearing more about those ladies here soon, and I expect they're going to kick all of our asses. So we love it.
Probably. Yeah, I hope so.
All right, so everybody suck your dicks. If you were terrible at celebrating Mother's Day, you should feel awful. And your wife's probably fucking somebody else. Have a good day.